Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I've got quite a nice rack, but it's full of bingo-y tiles, but no bingo. So, to what extent do I wreck the rack? I think I'm going to preserve most of it and play oo. LOO would be another possibility, but I think the L helps this rack leave. So oo for 4. Fantastic. I am definitely bingoing with this rack. That couldn't have worked out any nicer. So do I have a play beginning or ending with oo? And I may have a play through oo ending on this triple word square. That would need to start one square to the left of oo. Can't see anything in that lane with the blank as a Z. Wow, fantastic start for my opponent. Fortunately, I'm able to come straight back. So I have singles in row J and As, so I certainly do have a bingo. I think the best bingo would be a double-double in column 11 through the U. So I'm going to run through the alphabet, imagining a U on my rack and see if I can get a double-double. So bulgines and bluings, neither works. Scungile, lucigens, indulges. I don't think that has an anagram. I guess a lot of plays that could end ing, which is unlikely to be a double-double. Lugings, perhaps. So still not seeing anything. Now, what about this rack? Nigella's through an A, but I'm specifically focusing on the blank as a U. Legumins, gum lines, and there's one other, usually the one that works. Mulesing, well that doesn't work, maybe there's a fourth. "17 minutes on my clock, so I do have time for this search. Ligneus, gosh, so close. Now, anything here? Ugliness, gluiness. Gosh, this looks like there should be something, but I'm not seeing it. Guy lines. Well, how frustrating. This is such a good 7-letter set. I thought there was a good chance there'd be something through the U. So I'm thinking about playing over the top of or and odd. So NG plays in that spot, so I could play singles across here. 70 points. And that's going to be more than just a pure doubled score. So I'm going with this. Not so good. And I lead by only 7 points. So I'm likely to be trailing. Nowhere super hot for my high scoring tiles. But that may change. My F can go under the O, as can the Y. But I'm not seeing anything great which scores twice. Another reason for playing singles rather than down one of the columns through Arders was to reduce the number of floaters for my opponent. And also it's not providing any super hot spots for high scoring tiles. Now, one thing I'll be looking to do with this number of high scoring tiles is to try and leave only one or two of them. So I think I have Boyki in column 11. Yes, so that gets rid of B, Y and K, leaving just the F for about 30 points. Column 11 still available for a double-double. Boyke would take that possibility out. Fikey is good, F-I-K-Y, that plays in row J, so I certainly will have options to leave myself with just one of the high-scoring tiles, and generally that's a good thing to do. Fikey also playing above the top of singles, and probably preferable to Boyke. Slightly fewer points, but Boyke does provide a lot of floaters and scoring opportunities for non-bingo plays. Opponent goes in that spot, so he takes out Boyke and Fikey. Boyke still playable in column 12. Might be worth doing, that's going to score even more with the B doubled and B not particularly dangerous in the middle of column A. Fikey not playing over the top of Harry, none of those tiles goes in front of HE. My T does, but I haven't really included that in any candidate moves so far, and it is a priority to play off 3 of the high scoring tiles if I can. So let me see what Boyke scores. Boyke's. That's 36 points, that's a pretty good score. I'm going with this. Not great. V and F really unsynergetic. Wow, look at that 70-point play for my opponent. So he's now in a 50-point lead, so quite a strong position. I have an I for going underneath the Q. Wow, so close to Vinyl. I would just need an L for that. I could play Viney. 28 points, pretty good score. Not a disastrous rack leave. Just looking to see if I've got a play in row E, making THE, but I'm not seeing anything. I think I will play Viney. It gives very little away. Still 3 L's to come, so there is a spot in column 13, but I don't regard it as super hot. So Viney for 27. That looks a little better. If I play off the F, I should be able to leave quite a good rack leave, so a play of Faux, for example. Still can't see anything utilising the THE hook. And this O not particularly useful because only an S goes after God. And I'd really need an FRE to play in red J. Now through an R I would have 4 time. No R's available. I think it's just the S of Arders and singles available as floaters right now. Just looking to see what I've got at the top. I've got Beef. Over 30 points, but I am burning both E's. And there are quite a few I's and O's unplayed, so that's not great, especially when you're behind. I really want to get into a position of bingoing again as soon as possible. Wow, I had not remembered that Harry took an E at the end. I'm not sure that would have changed anything. But great play by my opponent, 91 points. He's now 115 points in the lead. Which makes Beef even less attractive. But what else can I do? Deacons does create a good bingo lane in row K, and there's a bingo lane in row J. So it's not a priority to open new bingo lanes. Is there another player at the top right? Not seeing anything. Now what about a play ending TIE? Well, I just can't see anything. Or a play ending TI. If I had a U, I could play Mufti. Fomite is good, but that doesn't work in this spot. I don't feel great about this, but I'm going with Beef for 32. Well, could have been worse. I haven't duplicated any of my I or O. However, I'm not seeing a bingo here. Modulist, not good. So I'll be looking to play off the M for score and the U because it's non-bingo-y. I do have an L for going after Viney, but I'm not seeing a play in that spot. My M can go underneath this O in Arders, but just can't get it to score twice. I'm looking again at this THE spot, not seeing anything which goes there. Multi is not good. Just checking the letters in Arders to see if I've overlooked any floaters, but it is just the S in second position. I could play Molds in row K. That would sort my rack out and create a new bingo lane. Both blanks have gone. One for me and one for my opponent. So tile turnover isn't relevant in terms of drawing one of those. Still 3 of the high scoring tiles plus 2 S's to come. So 13 minutes on each of our clocks. Wow, I thought that was another bingo coming down, but my opponent's sorting out a problematic rack with a V and vowels. Does create a new bingo lane in row L, and has got a 100-point lead. No new floaters provided. I'm thinking about playing Mould. It doesn't feel great. It's playing off a lot of tiles for not many points. There are still enough tiles to come back into this game. But I just don't think the score is good enough, and whatever my opponent's rack, I think Mould will provide him an opportunity to score well and sort it out, so I'm not attracted to that. 12 minutes on my clock. So I could play Mud or Dumb or Odium. With no E's on the rack, keeping 5 tiles isn't a great idea. So Odium is 18 points. I don't think it's quite as open as Mould, and it provides fewer scoring spots. Duomi is its anagram, but that doesn't play. Although I could play it in row J for the same number of points. $18 points. Yeah, and that is not providing anything like the scoring opportunities that Mould provided. Not too many high-scoring tiles go underneath the U. But only 18 points. Row F is a nice bingo lane for running over the top of singles, so it would be nice to keep that available as a separate part of the board to the bottom, so my opponent can't take out all bingo lanes in one fell swoop. I'm going with Dweebovision. Well, I don't have a bingo-y rack. I do have a good scoring tile in the X. Nowhere fabulous for that. I think Calyx may be good. So I do have that in row F. But again, turning over a lot of tiles for not a massive score, and I am more than a bingo behind. I've still got an L for making vinyl, but I'm not sure there are many candidate plays, if any, which play in column 13. So a play beginning E-A-L and then a tile which hooks K. Possibly no moves in that spot. Great, the D remains available. I don't have an E for playing underneath ivories. A way of opening a new bingo lane would be to play in that spot. Un takes an I, so I could play XI, and I think this has some merit. 21 points, I'm opening a new bingo lane. Uni takes an T and an S. Rackleaf, quite good. Balanced and bingo-y. Is there somewhere hugely better for my X? I don't think so. 29 points for Calyx, so this is 8 fewer points, but I think the Rackleaf is better and I like preserving this bingo lane and creating a new one, so I'm going with this. I draw the Z, still 4 E's to come. So I have Zitty and the, so maybe I will get to use that spot, and that will play off precisely the tiles I'm looking to play off. Great, only 17 points for my opponent. How many tiles in the bag? 23. So Zitty for 38. Not great. I thought that first L might be an I, but it's not. So, pretty unbalanced rack. Let me check the remaining vowels. 11 out of 27 tiles, so slightly vowel light. Cellarettes through 2 E's. I trail by 60, which is less than I've been trailing for earlier on in the game. Tenth has taken out the bingo lane I created with Xi, but in turn created a new bingo lane. Remaining tiles fairly bingo-y, but plenty of potential for my opponent to have an unbalanced rack. Okay, that's a nice play. He's taking out bingo lanes, turning over a lot of tiles to expedite the end of the game. Played off another E. Reduced the chances of having 2 W's and a U on his rack, so that's all good. Wangle does take a T in front, which I have. Now I'm thinking about playing call, which is going to work out if I draw a couple of vowels. I'm also providing a floating vowel, but this could horribly backfire. Let me pause for a moment. I'm wondering about playing call with the view to setting up a front S hook, but does call take a front S? It does, so I think this is more attractive because this is a much better Rackleaf. I'm not obstructing the twangled hook, and I'm creating an S front hook for call, which is slightly obscured, and in any event, even if spotted, there's only one S left. so I'm going with this. Okay, I have targets, which, despite having 2 T's, doesn't play in row C or in column 2. Unit takes an E, but targets doesn't play there. Targets does not have an anagram. So I finally get a bingo, and it doesn't... I was going to say it doesn't go, but it does now. Fantastic. Is there time to catch my opponent? 89 points. Vast score. 9 tiles in the bag, so I'm going to be drawing 7 of them. And there are bingo lanes on this board. Pretty good, non-bingo-y, but the rack is balanced. Now, my opponent probably played off only 2 tiles because he had a pretty bingo-y remaining set. I trail by 13, but that could be quite a lot. Now I've got JA and JA in row N. Just wondering if I have something beginning with J coming down column 2 for a big score. Can't see anything. I no longer have the S for school or the T for twangled. And there's one each of those out there. JA is nice because it preserves scoring tiles and it scores well. But what if that's blocked? I have jail in row H. That's quite nice. 33 points. 2 tiles in the bag. So it'll be interesting to see what the situation is after my opponent plays. He could empty the bag, and he does. So he's got 6 tiles on his rack, and he leads by 34 points. 34 points for my opponent. Sorry, 21 points for my opponent. I trail by 34. Opponent's got As Sport on his rack, and that plays underneath 10th. Which doesn't bode well for me, because my jar play is going to leave that available. Opponent's provided a couple of floaters, but they really don't help me. This rack is non-bingo-y. So a play of JA is going to draw me level, but my opponent will then bingo out. So this is not looking good. And my opponent's got pasta and twangled, so he's got an out in 2 spots. 6 minutes on my clock. And I think I'd need to score about 60 or 70 points here to have winning chances, and that's not going to happen. So this was my play. Jar for 38. And giving 22 on count back, so this play is worth 16 points. Is there a better spot available, taking into account count back? And what about blocking pasta, forcing my opponent to go for the lower scoring As Sport? Can't see a good way of doing that. And do I have a play in column 2 which gets the J tripled and plays off a few more tiles? Not seeing anything, so I'm going with jar. My M can go underneath the H. No, I'm not seeing anything better. There we go. jar for 38. So opponent's got a couple of outs. I lead by 4, but probably just a few seconds in this game. And my opponent does find a sport and goes out. And the final score, 385 to me, 428 to my opponent, a winning margin of 43 points. So well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. It was me to go fast. No missed bingo there, and I still prefer the short play. The rack leave, pretty good. And one reason for a short play is to reduce the number of floaters for my opponent, but that didn't stop him from bingoing with ardors. Fortunately, I was able to come straight back with a bingo, but there was a 9-letter play through OR, or a couple of them, which I didn't spot, so I play singles for 70. I could have got 10 more points. Opponent plays Harry. Now I don't have an E for going on the end of that. So I play boy keys for 36, and I still like that. As indeed does my opponent with his fantastic quoad play. So he's now 50 points in the lead. I play Viney for 27, but Fient D15. So I have the E for Harry E, but I hadn't spotted that hook. That would have been a better play. Opponent does spot it. Whacks down deacons to take a 120-point lead. I play beef. I didn't like it, but there's nothing obviously better. Opponent took a while with this play, played ivories, and now H1 moduli. Wow, I don't think I considered that 6-letter lane. That would have been quite nice. Instead, I played Duomi for 18. Yes, moduli would have been better. Opponent plays Nay. And I thought about Calyx, and I preferred XI because of the rack leave. Opponent plays 10th. And now I have Zitty for 38. So I trail by 60. Opponent plays Wangled. And I play Call for only 12 points, but I'm doing that for strategic reasons, to keep bingo lanes open and create new ones and leave a very good rack leave. Certainly better than any of the rack leaves on offer here, so I still like my play. Opponent plays Far, and that's great. It gives me hope. I have targets for 89. Not a great rack for my opponent. He plays Wall. And now I trail by 40, and I couldn't see anything better than Jar. And just looking down here, I still can't see anything better. And finally, Pasta for 29, or Porters. And a Sport just 4 points less. So a very well played game by my opponent, quite close at the end, but my opponent managed to hang on for the win, so well done once again to him. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.